Welcome to a demonstration of the e-exam system version 5. What we're going to do today is we're going to start it up using a Apple Macintosh. This is a MacBook Pro, 15-inch screen with a dual graphics card. It's a late 2013 model. So to begin, what we need to do is before we even turn the power on, we need to make sure the USB stick is firmly in the USB port. And now what we need to do is we need to get to the one-time boot menu. So on Apple Mac, what we need to do is hold down the Alt Option key. So you need to hold it down and then turn the power on. So let's hold it down. And now because I've only got two hands, I need to turn the power on. So there's the power button. All right, so on this one, it's in the upper right-hand corner of the keyboard. If you've got a slightly older one, it will be a silver button on there. So let's just turn that on. And it'll turn on, and keep holding down that Alt key there, and keep holding, and eventually we get to see the boot menu. Now we can release the Alt Option key, we don't need it anymore. Now this is USB sticks are equipped with two options. There's, you'll see, I'm not sure, there we go, zoom in, Windows or EFI boot. Now, if you get both of them, I recommend you choose Windows. Some Macs may only show the EFI boot one, in which case you've only got one choice. So to select it, you just press the Enter key. And what should happen is we'll then move to a boot. What we're doing, waiting. Okay, so once you see the little keyboard and person icon, you know something's happening. Now, depending on which version your Mac is, you may then see lots of error messages. For example, on MacBook Airs, you'll see a whole streaming set of messages come down here, and it will take a good 20 seconds or 30 seconds to get through the boot process. Now, on the Mac Pro, we get straight to this little Ubuntu icon. We know that on any Mac, once you're at the Ubuntu icon, you're good to go, and we're pretty going to be likely to be successful. Assuming, of course, you don't have graphics cards incompatibilities. If you end up with a graphics card incompatibility, you won't get to the desktop, you'll get a blank screen. What will have happened actually is it will have loaded, but the graphics card, secondary graphics card, may be incompatible. At this stage, we can't do much about that, and you'll have to try a different computer. You will notice that the text on these little things here is very small. See how small the buttons are? Well, we can rectify that, fortunately. So if we go up to this option here that's called Dash Home, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see it very clearly, but the top left-hand corner, press that button. And then what you need to do is type in the word display. I-S-P-L-A-Y-S. Displays. So that one will take us to the display control panel. Press the Enter key. So type it in, press the Enter key. And now we have the control panel that allows us to change the resolution of the monitor. Now, the Retina displays are all 16 by 10. And I'm not sure if you can see it there, it's fairly small. But it's by default on this particular Mac, it's 2880 by 1800. Now that's why we're getting the really small fonts. So what we want to do is we're going to drop that down, and we're going to choose a ratio that's smaller. So my recommendation is to go for the smallest 16 by 10 ratio. Pick that small one and then click Apply. And now what you'll see is the screen resolution will change, and now it's much more readable. So we'll go keep this configuration, it's an important step. And now we can close this displays control panel, because we don't need it anymore. What we do need to, however, find is down there is the e-exam starter dialog box, so we can just move it back to the center of the screen. But in any case, it won't matter. We're ready to begin the exam proper. This system is configured for paper-based exams, or Word document exams as we call it, paper equivalent exams. That uses a Word document. So stage number 1, student types in their ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also use the tab key to move to the next field. Tab once, and they type in their name. We're just going to use Joe Blogs. And we can click the Start Exam button. Again, the tab key will get you to the next field. You can use your mouse if you like. Enter key will confirm the choice. Now we will open the document. Again, we'll see the example here is the University of Queensland's standard cover sheet for exams. The first step, once you're inside here, is to type in your information. So depending on which exam venue you are, you type in the relevant details. If you have an allocated seat number, then you would type in that. If you have, of course you have an ID number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And next, type in your family name. Sorry about the shaky camera. That's what happens if you use an iPhone with one hand. Joe is my first name. And the USB stick will have a number printed on it. Please type that into the box. Next, what we want to do is scroll down. Now, two-finger scrolling should work. Oops. There we go. So we scroll down and then move up. So it can be opposite to others. So up is up and down is down. Well, that's probably not going to look very good on the video, is it? Okay, so what we want is how we can use the scroll bars. So now we start typing some questions. You will notice there are some instructions there. Please write your answer below the line. Make sure you read what your lecturer puts in here because they may be different. So, first name, Joe Blogs. So we've typed a few answers and now we want to make sure we're safe. So we go File Save. Best to use File Save as often as you can. The system has an auto backup saving feature that kicks in every 1 minute. So if your battery was to happen to go flat, don't worry too much. You're not going to lose much work. You'll be able to recover and restart the system very easily. Down towards the bottom, you'll notice there's an example for how we can handle diagrams. In this case, we're going to handle diagrams by filling in the rows of a table underneath. So this might happen depending on how your lecturer is formatted, and if they're in fact asking these kind of questions. You'll see there's a diagram with some labels and we're expected to put the labels in. So label number 1, top. Label number 2, whatever you like. Obviously, it's got to be appropriate for the exam. Right. Okay, let's just say we've finished the exam. We need to gracefully exit the system. File Save one last time. Now use File Exit. Please don't just press the red button. Use File Exit, that way the software gracefully shuts down. Now what we can do is close off the system. So this is like shutdown. Press the shutdown button. And because this is a demonstration version of the exam system, we get this clear exam icon, dialog box, sorry. Now in the real exam, this dialog box will not appear. But because we're doing a demonstration, and what I want to do is show you what happens when you restart the system. Let's just say, for example, your battery went flat and you need to change another computer. All of your answers are of course saved on the USB stick, so we're going to choose Keep My Data and Shut Down. In the real exam, you'll just get straight to this confirmation box. And now what we're going to do is shut down the system, and we will restart it as if you had to change computers. And because the USB stick has saved all your information on there, you'll be able to start up the other computer with your content already intact. Continue where you left off, basically. Now, still going to continue to shut down. what you need to do is wait for the power to go off. You can see the lights on the keyboard have disappeared. Now you could remove the USB stick. And we're back. What we're going to do is demonstrate what happens when we resume. Let's just say the battery went flat on the other computer and we needed to change a new computer. Plugging in the USB device. Noticing that the power is off when we do this. And because we're on a Mac, we use the Alt Option key. Hold that down. And then we go over here and we turn on the power key. Power on. I'm just going to launch straight into the exam. There's a dialog box on here, and the dialog box says existing exam detected. This is because we're continuing, and it asks us, do we want to start a new exam or do we want to continue the existing exam? And because we want to continue the existing exam, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to press the continue existing exam button. The Office software will launch, and we may well be encountering this recovery dialog box. So just press the start recovery box button there. It'll do its thing. Press the finish button, and we will now get back to where we were before. We're on this Word document here. We've got our details already filled in because we're continuing. We can use our two-finger scrolling to move down, and there we see, if you remember last time, we typed in Joe Bloggs on the question 1, and down the bottom here we had typed in some labels in that table. Now the word label was the last thing I typed before I shut down, so it shows you that it's retained everything I've done. And if I was to type in some more, oops, never find out where the mouse has gone. There we go. Blah 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 blah. What we do need to do now is we need to pretend, okay, so we've finished the exam on the next computer, and now we want to shut down. So remember, we're going to shut things down gracefully. So go up to the file menu there and go save. File save for one last time. And we want to gracefully exit the word processor. So we go file exit. Choose that item, and we get back to the desktop. So it's time to hand the exam up. We need to shut the system down. So we go up to the shutdown button, press that shutdown button, and as I mentioned in an earlier part of the video, there's this clear exam dialog box here. This will not appear in your exam. It appears because we're using a demo stick, and now it's time to return this demo stick. So please kindly press the button that says clear my data. So the clear my data will remove anything that you've typed into the system so that you can hand it back for the next person to use. As I mentioned in the real exam, this choice is not going to happen, so don't worry. In the real exam, you will get the confirmation dialog box, so you just press shut down and the system will close down quite nicely. Wait till the little animation is finished, and you'll notice that the power is still on. You see the lights are still on the keyboard. So when the lights on the keyboard have extinguished, you know that the power has turned off properly, and you'll be able to hand back your USB stick. So here we go, the lights are off, means power's finished. Remove the USB stick, and the invigilator will come to collect it in the exam. So thank the invigilator very nicely, and good luck with your exam, folks. Bye bye.